Where do you find the bottle?
For an old guy.
Got some fairly low trees up here. That one that was down there by the...
Who's this man?
That last
Well,
place
I'll
we were at,
introduce
there was
myself.
a couple of them out there.
I am Daniel Green Garnsey. This is a picture of me in my younger days. I'll pass that around while I tell you a little bit about myself. Again, my name is Daniel Garnsey. The interesting fact is that I really only spent a very short period of my life here in this territory, but I will tell you where I began. I was born in Canaan, New York, which is Columbia County, just outside of Albany on the border with Massachusetts. Lived there till I was 13, and then my family moved down near the Great Bend in the Susquehanna River. While we were down there, my father passed away, and I went to Troy, New York to study law with my Uncle Peter, and I became a lawyer. I married Lucy Hudson in 1803. We had 8 children. Began to practice law in 1812. That was interrupted by the War of 1812, and I served in that war as a major, a brigade inspector, something that I enjoyed doing very much. Took pride in the fact that my brigades looked right, conducted themselves well. Well, after the war in 1816, we moved over to Pomfret, and while we were there, I purchased some land. In fact, Chadwick's Bay was known as Garnsey's Bay for a short while. But more importantly than that, I purchased some land for a company called the Dunkirk Company. And then the village of Dunkirk became that property, and some people credit me with encouraging them to name the village Dunkirk. I served as a prosecuting attorney there, sometimes acted as a judge, and I was elected to Congress twice. I represented the area in 1825 and 1827. But I didn't get a third term, and after my time in Congress was over, I moved my family out to the new territory of Michigan and helped to lay out the village of Battle Creek, where you get your cereal from, your frosted flakes and your Rice Krispies. I was a postmaster and superintendent of public works out there in Michigan. Well, that work was interrupted by war as well. The Black Hawk War in 1832 erupted, and I served in that conflict. You may know somebody more famous than me who served. Abraham Lincoln served in the militia in the Black Hawk War. After that war ended, I moved my family to Illinois, where I was the receiver of monies at the local land office. This is the one blotch on my career because I was never very good with money. I didn't handle it well. I was never a very successful businessman, and unfortunately some people thought that I defrauded some others in that line of work. I didn't. I just wasn't very good at handling the money, and I only served for 2 years, and then I was relieved from that post. Well, let me tell you about the last 5 days of my life and how I ended up here. We were down in Philadelphia visiting a married daughter, and we heard that there was going to be a great celebration in Dunkirk. They were completing the New York and Erie Railroad, and they were going to celebrate that. Of course, having something to do with the development of Dunkirk while I was living in this area as a congressman, I worked very hard to build up the village of Dunkirk. So I was excited about this celebration. I wanted to come back and be a part of it. And so we made our way here to this area, to Lodi, as it was known then. And we stopped in Lodi to visit some relatives. My wife, Lucy, her sister, Parthenia, was married to Ralph Plum. The Plums had a lot to do with this area and building up Lodi. So we stopped to visit them, but unfortunately on the way here, I took sick with an illness called erysipelas. It's an infection, and had a terrible sore throat. I got so sick that I really became deranged and irrational, and was that way for about 5 days before I passed away. I was buried over in the Presbyterian yard, but when the Plums gave this land for a cemetery and it began to be used as such, they reburied me over here, and that's why I'm here. Parthenia, my wife's sister, is buried just down the way, and of course this is a monument to Mr. Ralph Plum. What happened to Lucy, my wife? People have asked. I don't know. So that's the short answer. But thank you very much for coming. That's my story, and it's nice to be able to share it with you.
Thank you.